Bienvenidos, and welcome to my channel. I've been a fan of D&D for a very long time, and beyond the very cool dice, great storytelling, and imaginary worlds, I fell in love with the miniatures. I painted my first minis around that time, and have been painting them ever since. So follow along with my channel, and see if this old dog gamer can learn some new tricks. Welcome to episode 15, Night of the Painted Dead. So it's no secret that I fly my nerd flag proudly everywhere I go, and recently a friend from work saw the minis on my desk and asked if I painted minis for other people, like ones for a board game. Of course, I said. All projects are more practice, and I love the challenge of a batch painting. Well, as I'm sure you figured out by now, the game he brought me was Zombicide. I've never played it myself, but I've seen other painters post their pics of Zombicide minis they had worked on. I'm admittedly curious about the game as well, so it's not just a painting opportunity, but now I can get a closer look at the game as well. Right away, I realized I may have bitten off more than I could chew as I examined the one abomination, 6 characters, and 64 zombies. This will be no easy task, and I see a lot of sequel episodes in this franchise, so break out the popcorn and let's get this zombie fest shambling on. After giving the minis a once-over for excessive mold lines, I batch primed them using Army Painter's Uniform Gray spray primer. Once they were all dry, I loaded up the wet palette with some regular Uniform Gray and touched up all the spots where the rattle can couldn't reach. After they set up, it was time for the white Zenithal dry brush, but I was having some technical difficulties with my homemade texture palette, so it was a bit of a struggle to get even highlights. No worries, anything I don't like can get touched up with regular war paints when I'm done. Okay, kiddies, let's take a break in the action for a shout out to my friends at the Kobold's Lair.
Need dice out on the high seas? What about minis in the jungle? We've got you covered with paints, terrain, minis, and more. Located at 1270 Front Street in Crescent City. Open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. The Kobold's Lair, supplying your battlefield since 2023.
So I do a lot of thinking while I'm painting. It's like therapy most days. Spending the day in the chaos of life is so much easier to process when I paint. I get to watch something come to life in a very colorful way. It's a sense of true accomplishment, I think, taking something from monotone plastic and giving it a personality, static but unique. Even as the mini goes through the ugly phases, it's good to remember it's not going to stay that way if you keep working at it. With a long process of Zenithal finally completed, it was time for some speed paint. But that will be a story for the next episode. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you tuning in. I'm glad I can share and connect with so many people. If you haven't yet subscribed, take a second, hit that button so you won't miss out on any future episodes. Oh, and don't forget to feed the algorithm, so hit the like and share buttons as well. Until next time, kiddies, remember, they ain't gonna paint themselves.